Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time. The new weapon. Now, I was gonna drop a video yesterday about it, but I was like, you know what? Let me just keep playing. Let me just keep using this weapon. And overall, yeah, this is a pretty. No, I say pretty. No, this is a really freaking good dark weapon. Now, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Was it really needed? No, not really. But we will gladly take it. More power for us, I would say. So I've got it level 7 across the board. So obviously the javelin attack at 789, and then the drop attack once you teleport to the javelin 1579. So it's got some power in it. You know, it does have some power to it. And then of course with what you compare it with in terms of keeping it in the same typing. Yeah, you guys can see where we're getting at and why this javelin is, or this spear should I say, is packing a punch. Now, just to quickly go through the weapon, so that way I can give my honest opinion on what I would suggest about this weapon. So, when the user uses Zeke's Advent, after using the javelin attack, they immediately follow up with a drop attack. When the user uses a javelin attack, it applies the fragment retrieval effect. After using a drop attack, the user gains super armor, and they get a damage reduction, or damage taken decreased by 50%. So, obviously with this weapon, when you throw it and you basically teleport straight to the enemy, at that point it's a danger zone, because obviously the enemy itself, they can clip you back because you're so close to them. So to have the super armor given along with a 50% damage reduction, they are absolutely rewarding us to just go in with this weapon, and I absolutely love that. So that is a huge W. So fragment retrieval, when the effect ends, it applies refined fragments, which basically makes it so that the damage of the skill and the Zeke's return go up by 50%. Yeah. So seeing all of that, I'm just like, damn, someone in the developers team loves dark weapons, or loves the color purple, one of the two. So that is just the initial passive itself, and yeah, pretty solid overall for a dark weapon. Extremely solid, a powerful dark weapon to have. Now, I've got it at A1, so if you have it at A1, you actually get some additional reward from it. What I mean by that is, Zeke's return activates after the user uses a drop attack. Right? Zeke's return. Damage and mana consumption, same as a drop attack. The user does a powerful forward-facing slash, creating a black lightning storm. So now, rather it being a 2-phase attack, it's a 3-phase attack. So you basically throw, do your initial damage, teleport, slam, that's your drop damage, and then you do a slash. So yeah, just by getting it into A1, that's you furthermore getting the weapon, like getting the most of the weapon, should I say. When Zeke's return is used in sequence with drop attack, it increases the attack damage by 50%. This is just A1, like, yeah, I mean, there's like more to say. So this is where I've got it currently right now. I would say that, yeah, even if you get it minimum to A1, then you are really, well, you're not exactly maximizing it, because that's A5, but with just getting that one dupe kind of being the bare minimum, then at that point, yeah, you're kind of maximizing the full phases of this weapon, and just to get that extra 50%, that's ridiculous. Dark damage goes up as per usual. So once you get it to A3, when the user can use drop attack, the user can use drop attack more swiftly. When the user uses a drop attack, it immediately applies the refined fragment effect. When the user uses drop attack and Zeke's return sequentially, the cooldown of Zeke's Advent decreases by 2 seconds. So again, this is just furthermore catering for you to pop off the skill more quicker or more often, and it also activates refined fragment is in use, so that way you get that 50% going with the increased damage for both the skill and the return. So that's pretty solid. Again, damage. And then the A5, when the user uses the drop attack and Zeke's return sequentially, it enhances the refined fragment effect and applies the black lightning fragment effect. So increases Zeke's Advent and Zeke's return damage by 80%, increases the critical hit rate of Zeke's Advent and Zeke's return by 20%. This is what I mean. This weapon is just nothing but pure damage. That's it. And the passes themselves are just making the weapon more stronger and stronger and stronger. And so realistically, you want to pair it up with the plum sword, you want to pair it up with the moon shadow. Hell, you can pair it up with the scythe. I'm just keeping it within the typing itself, right? Any weapon that can cater more to buffing you up with crit wise, more damage wise, etc., you want to pair it up with the spear itself, so that way you can furthermore do a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright, now with all of that being said, I don't know if people are catering to the weapon or people want to go for the weapon, you know, it's completely up to you. But what I would suggest is, in terms of the dark weapons, make sure that you're squaring away these two. I mean, obviously the scythe you get 2 copies. I feel like for most, depending on how much you've been summoning, maybe you might be getting closer with RNG by getting more copies and actually maxing this out. So that's absolutely fine. But in reality, this was the initial best combo. Then the Moon Shadow kind of took an over. This, in my opinion, is still the best dark combination. So I would say utilize your best to try and. So I would say, obviously, make sure that you're squaring these two up quite nicely, and then after that you can kind of, because then once you square these two away, you can then pair these two up with either or, right? Because I mean, these two are nice little buffers for the offensiveness for what the other dark weapons produce, alongside them doing their piece of damage too. But yeah, I would suggest to obviously make sure either you, I mean, if you've got a decent plum sword, then at that point go for the spear if you want the damage. But the Moon Shadow with the plum is kind of like the best dark combination in my personal opinion. So if that's something you want to cater to, go for it. That's what I would suggest. But yeah, even if you've got the Moon Shadow worked up, then again you can go for the spear. Now, I don't know if this is actually a hot topic or a hot take, but I would have rather preferred something like this, like a full-on DPS weapon for light typing, and then a dark weapon to be provided for the guild or from the guild. I think I would have preferred that. But anyway, I digress. So pretty much, you know, you eat the mother trucker, and then you kind of make your way over, and then this is the third phase. There you go. You just kind of give yourself that AoE swing right there. So that's kind of that again. A1. That's kind of where if you can get it to. But there you go. I've got my Chidori and I've got my Rasengan at the ready with the flying Raijin. So kind of keeping it to that Naruto. I mean, hopefully that, you know, we get some sort of Naruto collaboration. That'd be pretty dope. So there's that. Oh, one thing which I do love doing actually. Yeah, so it's good for like AoE clearance, especially if you can group the enemy close together. Then yeah, that's when you'll get some good clearance from the weapon, I will say. Now, again, the damage output is pretty consistent because I mean it is just a full-on dark DPS weapon. That's just that's just it. So the damage output will be there. Oh my god! Whoa, I couldn't move then. Jesus Christ. Okay. One thing which I love doing with this is I love doing shadow steps. So let me just see if I can do it right now. So come at me, bro. Nope. So no, I messed it up. No. So what I would do is I'll throw this, I'll shadow step, then I'll launch on him and do my 3 phases, and then at that point I'll then obviously get the attack decrease going, and then I'll give myself some more shields. Yeah, that's basically the full-on combo wombo that I like to do. I mean, you can technically also activate the plum sword at that very moment if you wanted to, but the damage is there, which is very nice. Again, a good dark weapon, a good dark weapon. So throw it, shadow step, dive bomb, go, and then just start piling it all on. That's it. And then, I didn't do the plum. Okay, well I kind of ruined that. Kind of ruined it. That's unfortunate. But yeah, you guys get the idea. Yeah, it's a good weapon. But as I suggested, your best bet would be to cater to the Plum Sword Owl or the Moon Shadow to make sure that you've got those done up. I think they're going to be more important to how they'll be more helpful universally and how they can support you more than this weapon. But again, overall, not to take it away, you know, with this weapon, it does have its perks of just, you know, a nice little DPS dark weapon, something to cater to at a later stage once you've kind of squared up the Plum Sword or the Moon Shadow. If you've got either or one of them done up quite nicely, then you can. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't say that you really need to do up the Moon Shadow because you can still effectively use that even at a 0. But if you can get dupes on it, you know, it's no longer just helping you out in terms of your dark weapons, but you can also effectively support your team even furthermore. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to kind of show with this weapon. So yeah, that's kind of like my overall look on it. I love the weapon. I'm having an absolute blast with it. I want to get dupes for it just so that way I can increase my damage output for it. Other than that, it's a good weapon, it's a fun weapon. It's not a weapon that I would say you need to go head over heels for, only because there are other better dark weapons that are still useful in an overall manner. And again, that's kind of one of the big reasons where I'm just like, again, they could have really swapped the typing to make it so that the light weapon's summonable, because then if that was the case, then there would have been a hell of a lot more value to then go for the light weapon, just because we need that light DPS, right? So, but they made it so that it's through the guild, so making it so that there's a lot more guild incentive, right, for that weapon than there is for the summoning of the Dark Spear. I wouldn't say it's a chase weapon at all. It's more of a weapon that if you guys do want to put it on your custom draw banner, or even on the weapons banner if you choose to summon over there, do so. It's a good DPS dark weapon if that's something that you're needing, unless you got, as I've stated with the other dark weapons, they'll do just as fine. But overall, yeah, no, it's just, yeah, it's just another good dark DPS weapon. There's nothing more to say. I wouldn't really go head over heels for it, but it's there. It's got that flying Raijin effect on it. But no, it's a good weapon overall, but it's just not something that we really need to overly cater to in a summonable side of things, of course. That's it. Oh, just before I forget, before people say, but what if we want to go for dupes? Realistically, A1, you get more damage out of it. A2, sorry, A3, you get more damage out of it. A5, you get, so even if, as long as you get A1, you're getting that extra phase of attack. So that's you kind of getting that full package. The additional of A3 and A5 just comes from allowing you to do more damage through the percentages, of course. So realistically, A1 is going to be the sweet spot, so that way you maximize the skill phases that the weapon has.